Hey guys, it's Ed. Cheers. Peeps Pepsi. So today is just an introduction to my audio. There's going to be quite a few videos on it, and there'll probably be a couple nuggets of information in there, especially if you are really new to audio. The type of audio system I'm doing is I am doing an SQ build. Another common audio type of build is a SPL. And a lot of people kind of do a hybrid of both. So SPL is basically loud. You make your car as loud as you can, or just louder than what it is from the factory, I guess. Those type of builds you typically see big subwoofers and stuff like that in. SQ is more focused on the audio quality, not the loudness of the music. Since I'm geared towards the quality, not the loudness, that's what this build is based on. So there is a couple of sacrifices I'm making on the SQ build to make it not as good as it could be. And that's because my vision is to make the car look completely factory. When you get into the vehicle, it looks completely stock. So there's not going to be an aftermarket head unit. The trunk box, which is already a video up for that, is an OEM box. But we did upgrade the subwoofer, which sounds amazing, by the way. There's a link for the video. Go check it out. So what we did for the head unit, which there will be a future video on this, is basically we tapped into this aux input on the back side. That way I can plug into a Bluetooth chip. Yeah, when I hit the aux button on here, it will go straight to Bluetooth. So that setup is going to be mainly for regular driving, but when there's times I want extra quality, I do have another input for Bluetooth that will give me a more direct quality that's going to bypass that head unit altogether. So one of the key components of the audio is going to be the Dayton DSP. It has 4 inputs, 8 outputs, which is going to be perfect because now I got an output for every single speaker in the car, including tweeters. And so this is not an amplifier, it's called a DSP, and it's a sound processor. It does a couple cool things. First, it acts as a line output converter. So I can plug in the harness and do a high line going in, and it goes to a low line going out to the amplifier. Another really cool thing is also acts as an equalizer. But not just the equalizer for the entire system, I can equalize every single one of these things separately. So I can set my EQ for my mids, set a separate EQ for my tweeters and my sub and all that kind of stuff. It also has crossover points, so I can set my subwoofer to a crossover to my mids to my tweeters. Does all of that in here. On top of that, it also does time delay. So I can delay the timing from one speaker to another on the audio. By doing so, you can change where the audio frequencies, because the speakers are different distance, when they meet up together. So the factory radios tend to kind of put it towards the center, is where it sounds like the sound is coming from. But by delaying it, I can put it right in front of me. Also, I can delay the back speakers to give it almost like a slight echo kind of effect to make it feel a lot more fuller. So you can do a lot of things with this. I also have the optional Bluetooth on there, so I don't need to hook this up to a laptop. I can do everything right from my cell phone on it. There may be some challenges with noise issues with this, but we have a solution for that already. Next, Next, let's talk about tweeters. These tweeters have little nipples on them. They're 1-inch tweeters, peerless tweeters. Our mid-range speakers, we got Dayton Audio reference series 7-inch. So that's a speaker. Really heavy speaker. These things are kind of pricey actually, but supposedly they're really good. Now the factory takes a 6.5-inch speaker, not a 7-inch speaker. So this might be a little bit of a modification to make it work, but we're gonna cross that bridge when that time comes. Next is gonna be amplifiers. I'm using an AB style amplifier. Class Ds are good for going loud and they're very efficient, but the lower end Class Ds, sound quality is not as good. So when you're going with a low end budget, you want to stick with Class AB for sound quality. So that's what we got. Basically got a 4-channel and another 4-channel. Thumbnail. So the reason why we got 2 4-channel amps is so I can keep every speaker separate. No sense having the DSP for 8 channels if I'm bridging it all to 4 channels. I want to be able to use every channel and every speaker separately. More so for the time delay than the actual EQ, because the EQ from right to left is pretty much the same. There's going to be a lot of other things I'm going to be going over in this system in these videos. We're going to give more details on exactly what kind of wire I'm using, what kind of plugs, what kind of connectors, a lot of probably useful information. And then I'm also running all brand new wires to every speaker. So we'll get a little bit more into it. In short, if you're buying speaker wire, get oxygen-free copper. So as far as getting the system set up and tuned, I got a oscilloscope. That's going to set the gain on top of the amplifier. That's also going to test where my noise is on top of the factory head unit. So that way we can get that properly set up. I don't know what it's called, but I got one of these. If any of them is out of phase where the positive and negative is switched anywhere in the system, basically you got your speakers kind of going like that instead of going like that. So that will help detect those issues. And if I do come across an issue, I don't have to rewire anything with the DSP. The DSP, I just go in there and I flip the phase 180 degrees. Another thing we got is a special microphone for the tuning. So the microphone you hook up to, I can hook it up to the phone, laptop, whatever basically. You use that to basically set your EQ and your crossover points, and that way you get a nice flat profile. Once we got the nice flat profile, then we can go and kind of do little tweaks here and there. But the trick is to get it dead on flat first and then adjust it to how we want to hear it. But anyway, yeah, that's what I got coming up in this audio series of videos. They'll be coming out. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get one a week or one every 10 days up. A couple of videos already in the vault, ready to post. Now, I got some other videos that I'm working on too, so those may drop in between these videos. If you want to bookmark this, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully, eventually you find a video that I make that you might be able to gain something out of, or at least enjoy watching. And at the end of this entire series, I'm gonna go through every single thing I spent on this audio system and add it all up together. Hint, it's probably over 1,000. All right, thank you for watching. Aloha, peace out. Catch you in the next one.